Good morning and welcome to Morning Prime. My name is Houghton. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Morning Prime is my personal routine for getting my mind and my body calm, positive, and prepared as I start my day. And I do this routine on my own every morning, and once a week I share it with the world and we do this together. So thank you so much for joining me. Today I want to start with, in the calming category, the 10 clearing breaths tool that I often use to kick off my morning priming routine in the morning. For me, if I'm not sitting in front of the camera sharing this with you, I do this in bed when I wake up in the morning before I even get out of bed. Sometimes I'll stand up and walk over to a chair in my bedroom that has a beautiful view, and I'll sit down in the comfortable chair just on the edge, kind of sitting upright just like this. And I'll start this breathing process as I start my morning priming routine. So 10 clearing breaths is really simple. It's as simple as it sounds. It's just 10 clearing breaths. So I'm going to share how this works and we'll walk through it together. And then I want to share with you today a tip that I've learned from the highest performing, most elite people across just about any category, from elite military to elite athletic and Olympians and performers to professional musicians and entertainers, people that go under immense performance pressure, where they have moments where they train and they plan, and then they go into these moments of performance where they have to perform. Not performing is not an option. There's no, let me wait 10 minutes. It starts and they are on, and they expect their mind and their bodies, and all the people that rely on them expect their minds and their bodies to perform in a very certain and specific way during these moments of performance. And for a lot of people, that can lead to a great deal of anxiety or stress or worry that can then derail these activities, these moments of performance. And so I'm going to share with you the top tool that I've seen across the board from my research and my own personal experiences that is used by these incredible elite performers at every level to manage their lives so that they can be prepared in those moments and perform in the way that they want to. So I'll share that after we go through 10 clearing breaths. So let's start with our first breath. So a clearing breath is a full breath in at kind of a medium speed. So it's not a rushed breath, it's not a super slow breath, and we're not doing like a yoga breathing technique where we're trying to create sound or resistance in our breath by breathing with energy. Instead, we're just trying to get the air into our lungs to fill it up fully. So breathe in at a medium speed. You can expand your chest out, shoulders back, head up, really feel that tension down the back of your spine, bringing that little bit of tension in and stretch as the breath comes fully in. Hold it for about a half second at the top, and then the release is the most important part of this breath. That's why it's a clearing breath. So the release goes like this. So all the air is going to come out in 1 to 2 seconds because you're not resisting it, you're not holding it back, you're not trying to filter it through a straw on the way out. Instead, you're just like a balloon has been popped, you're just letting it go. So we'll count these through together. So go ahead and close your eyes, get in a comfortable position. Again, I like to do this kind of sitting on the edge of my bed or in a comfortable chair. You can do this standing as well, but I think it's good to have a strong, straight back as you're doing this routine, so you can really feel the full breath coming in. So breathe in 1, half second hold at the top, and release. Breath 2 in. Half second hold and release. On this breath, think about bringing some tension. Breathe in into the shoulders at the top and then just drop them on the release. Let it go. You can do this with your hands and your forearms as well, tensing them as you breathe in and then just letting them fall and rest on top of your legs on the breath out. Breathe in again. A little bit of tension and release it. Let it go on the out breath. Breath 5 in. Little tension, hold, and release. Breath 6 in. Hold and release. Breath 7 in. Hold and release. Breathe in. Hold and let it all go. 2 more. Breath 9 in. hold, and release. This last breath, use as much tension as you can for that half second at the top, and we're gonna just let it all go with a great, powerful release at the top. Breathe in. Hold for 1 second this time with tension, stretched back, and release the arms and shoulders. Let the breath go. Go ahead and return your breath to a normal breath rate now. Just breathing in and out slowly. You can open your eyes again. Just take a second to notice anything different in the mind or the body right now. Has anything changed through that process? Do you feel more calm? Do you feel more focused? Sometimes we feel more energy, maybe not in the exact 30 seconds to a minute after we finish, but maybe 5 minutes later. We've recaptured energy by bringing our mind and our body back to calm again. And so they don't need so much energy for that spiral of anxiety thinking in the mind or any tension that we were holding anywhere in the body. By letting it go, we regain that energy. And after a couple of minutes, we can really start to feel it. I find that during the day, if I'm just feeling really tired in the afternoon after lunch, or maybe didn't get enough sleep last night or not good enough quality sleep last night, I start to feel it at some point during the day as my energy crashes. And just taking 5, 10, maybe a max of 15 minutes to do a breathing practice like that, or a meditative practice that gets me back to calm, can give me like an hour or two of energy back in the day, which is just incredible. I'll come out of it feeling rejuvenated, not feeling as tired, certainly not feeling as anxious or tense as before, and then I'll start to feel my energy picking back up again. It's almost like a mini nap, except we're remaining conscious through the process and using breath or in meditation in our minds. So I recommend this as part of your daily practice if you need to get a little bit of extra energy back when you're feeling not quite 100%, or if you're just feeling anxious and you want to recapture energy by getting back to calm again. So the tip that I want to share today that elite high performers use to always be ready for moments of intensity is called time blocking. And it's really straightforward, but it's a difficult thing to do because it requires just a little bit of discipline and it requires some planning. And I think elite performers in so many cases have coaches or groups that they're part of, accountability groups and teams that they're part of that hold them accountable to this level of discipline. And it's not that hard. It probably takes 5 minutes a week to do this. 5 minutes a week. So literally nothing, but it's easy to skip and it's easy to just not do, like many of the things that we know we need to do in life, but we don't always take time for ourselves to do them. So it works like this. Block out times when people can't interrupt you on your calendar. Dedicated work time where you're preparing for something or you're preparing your mind or your body. We typically, if you look ahead at your weekly schedule, we typically block things that require other people, events, meetings, interactions, trainings, teaching people, connecting just to listen, catching up with friends. But we don't book time for the things that we need. And so what happens is that we end up doing things that serve everyone else, and then we run out of time at the end of the day and we go to sleep. And we wake up again and we do the same cycle every single day, and we don't take the time that we need. So blocking time, most people typically do this over the weekend. They block out their week ahead. So maybe on a Sunday evening or Monday morning, if you've got a routine where you sit down and look at your calendar for the week, this is a great opportunity to just integrate this tiny little 5-minute piece into that practice. So book time blocks, one, for time that you just need to work. Working on yourself, working on your business, working on your accountability items for the week or for the quarter or for the month or for the year. This is work time where you're not to be interrupted by other people. You're not going to be interacting with other people. You're going to be working. And in order to do that, you've got to turn off distractions. So you've got to turn off email. You've got to turn off alerts on your phone. You can use an app that silence alerts, prevents you from going and playing on social media if you need real discipline enforcement. But really just finding a place and an environment, a digital environment where you cannot be interrupted is critical. And then second is time to think or time to be creative. So that's a little different than working, because thinking means that we're just sitting and using our brain, maybe planning for things that are coming ahead or trying to solve big problems that are important in our lives. So those are the two big disciplines that I like to look at. One, booking time just for ourselves and for our personal routine. And then two, booking the time that we need to think. And the third one, which is similar to the other two that I do like to recommend as well, is pure no distraction time. So you're not thinking, you're not working, you're not designing, you're not being creative, but simply just a couple minutes of stillness. And this stillness practice, you can do a little bit of meditation in that moment, or you can just do nothing. Maybe just sit and observe and look at your environment around you and just soak it up. Just take it all in and just try to let the mind go in a way that you can not be distracted and pulled back into something else. This is really just being present in the moment. That gets us out of our heads, worrying about the past, worrying about what might be coming up in the future, but instead just living in this exact moment. This moment, technically, if you want to get really philosophical about it, is all that we have. We can only live in the moment. And so why waste it by living in our minds in the past or in the future when we could be experiencing everything around us? So a great practice is to just sit. You can sit outside with a nice view where there's things to look at, or just sit in your office and just observe the environment around you. Take a moment to think about the brick wall that's on one side of your office, to think about the pile of books sitting on your bookshelf, and just be curious about them in a way that you get caught up in that moment and not in the distraction of whatever else might be trying to pull you back into the world. And these tools are used by high performers because they reset us and bring us back to calm, and they give a balance to that incredible intensity of performance when we have to be on. If we know that we're going into battle in 1 hour, we know that we have to be on and be able to perform then, and that intensity is absolutely going to happen. So time blocking stillness and moments of presence in and around that before or after the event is an incredible way to bookend that intensity with calm so that we don't just live in that intensity all the time. And that balance is what drives high performing individuals. I used to think they were just incredibly talented, and they are, otherwise no one would want them to perform in the way they perform. But the most exceptional performers are not just talented, they're disciplined in the way they manage their energy and their resources of their mind and their body. And these are the techniques that make them absolutely exceptional. It's not just the talent, you gotta have the talent or the skill that they've built. It's also these management tools for the resources that they have so that they deploy them in the right way. And that's what sets high performers apart. So I wanna take the last 2 minutes just doing a couple more clearing breaths as we end today. So thank you for joining me for Morning Prime. Let's finish on a couple of deep breaths in and out. And we're gonna not use any tension like we did with our clearing breaths earlier. We're just gonna finish today with a couple of large breaths in and large breaths out to return our mind back to our breath process. So go ahead and get comfortable again. Close your eyes. Let all your air out. And I want to do this breath in a 2-stage process. So first, you're going to breathe in from your belly. Inflate just the belly. Keep the chest still. Second part of the breath comes in the chest. Fill up the rest of the way. And then release everything out. Pushing your stomach, pushing your belly button, using your abdominal muscles to push it back in towards your spine, contracting your stomach back in as the breath comes out, kind of using it like an air bellow, squeezing the air in your lungs back out. So breathe in first belly, fill in chest, and let the breath out, using your stomach to push it back in. It's not like the clearing breath where we're just letting it go fully. There's a little bit of control as we're using our abs and squeezing to push them out. Breathe in belly. Breathe in chest. And then let it go. Squeezing your belly button back towards your spine as you let all the air out. Let's do one more. Belly in, or breath into the belly. Belly goes out. Finish the breath in the chest. Hold for a half second and release. Pushing all of that air, squeezing all of that air out. And then return your breath to a normal rate, in and out. Great work. That was a little taste of what I call the belly breath superset, which is a longer practice you'll see me do here in Morning Prime sometimes. It uses that 2-stage breath process, and I find it really relaxing if you want to get into an extremely deep meditative and relaxed state, controlling our breath in that 2-step process using the belly first and then the chest, and then an exhale out while squeezing the body back in is an incredible way to do it. So great work. That was 15 minutes. It goes by so fast. For those of you who have stuck with it to the end, you're going to have an incredible day today because you've committed time to your mind and your body to get them in a place where they need to be to perform in the way that you want to perform today and to change the world in the way that you want to change the world as an entrepreneur. So my name's Aaron Houghton. That was Morning Prime. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have an incredible day.